Today I'm going to be showing you how you can get access to the new Avatar Mythics that just entered Fortnite recently, and it's a very easy way on how to get them. Alright, so I am in Fortnite, and as you can tell, I do have the moat on the bottom left. Now, if you want to know the code, here it is. So I'm going to go on to the tab right here, and this is the code. So the code is 8497-6830-0948, and all you're going to do is when you enter that, you want to enter it, and then click on the only map right here that has that code, and then click select. You can do public or private. But if you want to get into the game quicker, I do private. And now let me show you how to get access to the Avatar Mythics. Alright, so this is what it should look like after you've entered the game and the game has started. Now, as you may notice, if you missed the code or anything, the code is going to be on the top of the screen throughout this entire video. So you might be wondering, why is there a random rift? Do you spawn there? What goes on with it? So this is actually the rift that takes you to the place where you can get access to the mythic. But before you enter this rift, I'd give you a warning to not enter this rift on high graphics, especially if you're on a PC, because once again, I've also entered this rift one time with high graphics and the game crashed. So I'm going to enter this on low graphics, because sometimes when you turn back in the chest, your FPS drops tremendously. So let me go back in, and then as you turn, sometimes it won't be laggy, but it all depends on your graphics and your PC or whatever console you're playing on. And I'm not sure how it works on Nintendo, but it may be just as bad as having high graphics on a PC. So what you want to do is that you want to grab your shockwaves and just shockwave through the chest. Now, it may take you more than one match, because after you've destroyed all the chests, you can end the game and do a new match. But you may be lucky enough to get it within one match after you've destroyed all the chests. So what you want to do is that you just want to shockwave. You want to shockwave through the chest. You will freeze as normal. Your FPS may go down tremendously. But you also, when you destroy it, you want to look quick, because the mythics or weapons do disappear very, very quickly. So let's try to find it. If you don't find it once, you can keep going until all the chests are destroyed, but there's a guaranteed chance of getting the mythic, because I did get it earlier. Make sure that it was possible, and it is possible. Now, the thing about this map is that if anything ever comes to BR and it's not creative, you can always go into this map. And, well, obviously, they gotta spawn in the chest first before you actually can get it. But if they spawn in the chest and they're not creative, just go to this map and try to get it. But as you can tell, I'm not getting it very quick. But that's the whole point of everything. Everything's random that comes off the chest. And also, stuff behind the barrier you're not able to get. So there it is. Look at that. So I could have got it if it spawned on the right side of the barrier, but because it didn't, I don't have access to it, because you cannot get anything behind the barrier, which is kind of... There we go. Look at that lag spike right there. So we gotta try to look very, very quickly. Now we're also gonna see the Zeus mythic, which is kind of gonna be a little annoying, just seeing the mythic and you realize it's the Zeus, because we do have the Zeus mythic in creative. It looks like there's another one over there. So we're gonna keep doing this until we find it, and we're gonna try it and see how it works. So I'm not finding it yet, which is kind of disappointing once again, because I kind of like to use this mythic and see how it works in creative before I go into real game and kind of use it in a good way. I'm also going to be testing it on builds to try to determine what the damage is to players, because usually the damage it is to walls, it is to players also. Here we go. So there we go. As I was yapping, I found the waterbending mythic. I think there's going to be more releasing next week, which I think is going to be on the 9th or 10th. Around there. So this is the waterbending avatar mythic. This is going to be the first one. It says use waterbending ice technique to hurl sharp projectiles at opponents. Also grants passive healing when in water. Alright, so we're not going to be able to test the healing in water, but it tells you right there that you can heal while in water. So it looks pretty sick. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to turn my graphics up to see how it looks on max graphics. Alright, so I went back into the rift on those settings, because I want to tell you something about the waterbending mythic. Now, you probably see it on the floor, and you may think that, well, you could drop it and it will appear on the floor. Well, because it's blacklisted in creative mode, you cannot drop it on the floor. Now, it goes for other mythics that you may see in this map that gets released in creative. So if there is new avatar mythics next week, and if you try to enter this map and try to drop them, you will not be able to, because once again, they are blacklisted and blacklisted items are prevented from dropping. So if I go back into the rift, and let's just say I accidentally drop it for the minis, nothing will drop because, well, I swapped it, and the waterbending mythic does not drop because, once again, it can't and won't. And unless it gets added to Fortnite Creative, like it did for the other Chapter 5 weapons, then you may be able to drop it. But until then, you're not able to drop it. So I increased my graphics to high because I don't want it to crash. And so it says on the left, it gives us some keybinds. It gives, so trigger is to shoot ice projectile, and it has square to reload ice projectile. Alright, so let's shoot it. Look at that. Look how clean that looks, too. I'm not sure how much we're shooting at once, but look how sick that is. When it, like, you pull it out, it's actually pretty sick, and it kind of, like, so it starts off with a little wave, and it kind of just, wow, look at that. So, it looks like that's the reload animation. I do have infinite. Okay, so it shows on the bottom right the ammo. So it looks like you do shoot 3 at a time. Let's see how much damage it does to build. So I'm going to look at this. Wow. It's about a 2-shot average. Wow, I don't know how to even calculate that. So let's see. So if someone's building a wall, you just keep spamming it. Wow, you can really keep spamming it, even though the reload time is pretty long, but look how much damage that is. I wonder how it is going to be the metal. But it's still pretty sick. You can even ADS. I don't know why I don't see my, because I know there is like a reticle for it, a custom one. But look how sick this is. Even when you ADS, it looks like just like a custom animation. It looks like it picks it up and just throws it at whatever. I'm not sure. Really, oh yeah, you can see the 3. Let's see if I kind of move. I kind of see. I'm not sure if it always shoots 3. It looks like it does, but I kind of saw the 3 water balls shooting at the ground. It's kind of hard to tell every now and then, but that's it all depends. Yeah, so when you move, so you can definitely see 3 of them going in 3 different locations. This is actually a pretty sick mythic, and I really do hope there is more, and I really think there is going to be more coming in next week's update, and there's also going to be more avatar skins coming also with that update, so it's going to be pretty sick. I think it's a pretty sick mythic, and if you want to come and use it in creative mode and use it against players, I got the map code on top of the screen, and you can just go through the chest. Now the thing about the chest thing is that not everyone is guaranteed to get one, so you just gotta make sure you get enough to where everyone has one. And it's a pretty cool map. It's a very, very simple map. You can get the Chapter 5 weapons to the chest, and you have the original 1v1 kind of weapons and stuff. You can just use it. I'm not sure if there's really anything else. I'm not sure if you can emote. You know, wait, I think you can emote. I was about to say, because I'm not sure how it is with other things, because obviously we don't have access to the other thing with cars or something like that, and water also. But it's still pretty sick with the water animation when you reload. I think that's pretty sick. And the fact that it is infinite, there is no limit to the ammo, which I think is also pretty sick. Now, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this.